Hey, Sofinista. Welcome.
Sofiesta?
Sofinista.
Okay.
Hey, Sofinista. We're here with Sebastian Klein of the Angel Forever Foundation. Hi. Hi, everybody. And, one of our biggest missions in our Feel Beautiful mission is to give back. And we are very proud and honored to work with you, Sebastian, today. Can you just tell us a little bit about what is the Angel Forever Foundation?
Yeah. For those of you who don't already know, the Angel Forever Foundation was founded by me after losing my daughter to suicide in 2017. And a big part of why I wanted to create something to make a difference is because before Angel's death, on the surface, she was, I don't like to put her in the category of the statistics, but I mean, technically that's what she is. So she was in that category of, on the surface, she was happy. She made straight A's. She was on honor roll.
She had straight A's.
Yeah, through her whole life, honor roll every single year. Awards in school for everything you can imagine. Writing awards, National Honor Society, and she made friends. She had no issues with just being happy. And after the fact, I found out that there was this whole side of Angel that nobody knew. And even those who...
Not even her brother knew? Like nobody knew?
No, we knew that she had issues.
Well, she's a teenager.
Yeah. And of course I always have to say now, if I knew then what I know now, then obviously I would have done a lot of things differently.
Yeah.
But I didn't. Which is just another reason why I feel so strongly about this foundation and the Angel Forever Crusade of breaking the silence. Because, I don't want to get off track. So,
that's okay.
Finding out all of her hidden, diaries, journals, things she had written that were right out, in the open, the whole time. It wasn't like they were hidden.
So you knew those diaries existed?
Yeah, I saw them every day sitting on her desk.
But you didn't go in because you were like, I want my child to have privacy.
Exactly. We had a very open and trusting relationship. So in the beginning, I had the passcode to her phone, and I thought letting her know that I'm not going to be the parent who's like, I didn't take her phone every night and all that stuff, which some parents do, and that's fine. But I thought for myself that her knowing that I could go into her phone anytime I wanted to was enough. It was like...
to monitor herself.
Yeah.
And okay, so I'm sure that now in hindsight, like you said, you're like thinking about, oh, what could I have done? And you're sort of playing the reel over and over in your head.
Absolutely.
But how are you advised by other adults or other entities that have either gone through this experience or have a lot of knowledge about it? How are you advised as far as like playing that reel backwards over and over in your head?
Yeah. Well, again, that's a big part of it is when I found all these things, which is some of the photographs that I brought with, which we'll get to later. They're taken straight from her social media. And a lot of the quotes are directly out of her journals. I didn't change any of the wording. Like it's her words. And they're very dark and sad. So not seeing any of this on the surface, I mean, she has a quote, I don't know if it's technically her quote, but that, scars aren't always visible and pain isn't always obvious.
Isn't that on one of your...
Yeah.
Here, it's on this.
Yeah.
It's on this. I don't know if you guys... We'll show it to you guys afterwards, but this... tell us a little about this. So this is Angel right here.
And it was a huge factor in what direction I wanted to go with Angel Forever. Because one of the first things that...
When you say that, you mean this picture?
That quote.
Oh, this quote.
And
let's say the quote again. It says, pain isn't always obvious. Scars aren't always visible. And how old was she when she wrote this?
I don't know for sure.
Oh.
But my guess is 12 or 13. I mean, she died June 4th, 2017. And that was 3 weeks shy of her 14th birthday. And something between the ages 12 to 13 and a half, some major changes happened internally with Angel.
And do you think those, I mean, now that you're trying to play that reel back, right, as the parent and as the adult, can you pinpoint what that was, or do you feel like you're going to have a lifetime of guessing it?
Yeah, definitely a lifetime of guessing, because she left a big question mark, and one of the things that I've learned about suicide in general is there never is one reason why someone takes their life.
It's never one reason.
Never. It's always a build up of things, and maybe one trauma
kind of just pushes them over the edge.
Yeah, but and we know this from research of people who are survivors. This isn't guesswork. Like, these are things that we've found through research by talking to people. I say we like I'm a part of the research, but
I mean, Sebastian, you may not have, you're not wearing a lab coat, but you are part of the research because you're living an example. And that's not something that the person in the lab coat can even say. So you are part of the research. Yeah. I mean, I'll just tell you, for me, why it was so important for me to do something like this with you is because I am very inspired by your courage, because every parent says the same thing. Every parent says this would be the most difficult thing I could ever go through. And we try to imagine that, but I mean, our imagination can only go so far. And the fact that you've taken this, and I'm not trivializing it at all, but here you sit in front of me and you are I think, doing this because you want to help prevent this.
Definitely.
You just want this. It's not I don't know if we can say we're going to figure out a way to make it end, but I mean, wouldn't you say that now, as parents, it's way more of a challenge than we could have ever imagined?
Yeah.
So speak to that. What is that challenge?
I would love more than anything to believe realistically that we could stop suicide.
Yeah. But
I don't really like that term.
Right.
Because I think, if we really want to look at it from a realistic perspective, I don't think suicide's ever gonna
Yeah.
just come to an end.
Right. Right.
There's not, it's not like finding a cure for cancer.
Right.
We're not going to find a cure for suicide.
Right.
But we can definitely do things that will reduce rates drastically. And that's one, like AFSP right now is doing a thing where they have challenged themselves and the world really to unite and reduce suicide rates by 20% by the year 2025.
Would that, and just to understand, when you mean suicide rates, do you mean suicide rates
As a
among
whole.
all as a whole?
Yeah.
Because just to get the statistics, you were telling me the last time we met, the rates, how have they changed in the last 10 years with our youth?
So globally, we lose over 1 million people to suicide each year. And you always have to remember with statistics, there's a plus on the end of every single number you see because they can only report what people report to them. So a lot of people don't report it. A lot of people try and cover it up for one reason or another. There's all these different factors involved. So statistically, it has gone from, we're at a 50-year surge right now. The rates are the highest now than they have been since they started doing research. Like back in, I think, they really started getting serious about research in like 1960, I think, somewhere in there. And where the rates now are higher than they ever have been. And they've gradually been growing over the years on an average of about 2,000 plus each year. So if you look back at the statistics from 2014, 15, it was about 45,000 people a year in the US that lost their lives to suicide. In 2017, it was nearly 48,000. And the scariest statistic is the fastest growing demographic right now are kids of the age from 10 to 13.
And how have the statistics changed for the kids between 10 and 13? Do you know what the numbers are off the top of your head?
I don't off the top of my head, but like I said, I do know that is the second leading cause of death right now.
I know.
For teenagers.
I know. And
And that wasn't even talked about.
No.
5 years ago.
No, I remember. I just remember growing up. I mean, 10 to 13-year-old. I knew of one situation.
Right.
It wasn't something that, and we sure didn't talk about it.
No.
No, we didn't talk about it. Now, we've talked about a lot, and I think that let's kind of. I think we should do another video about social media.
Definitely.
And teenagers. So we've talked a little bit about who Sebastian is. We've talked a little bit about his story, and we'll talk to him some more. Okay? Thank you, Sofonista. Feel beautiful. Thank you.